Welcome to Driveway Garage. Today I'm going to do a little prep work. I have some new Nerf bars coming for my Tundra. It's a 2003 and I'm going to get ready to take off the old bolts. The previous owner cut off the Nerf bars because they were rusty and I guess falling off, breaking off when he stepped on them, so he just took a hacksaw to them. Or I say, what am I trying to say? Skills? No. Reciprocating saw. There's the word I'm looking for. Anyway, let me flip this around here. There's my truck. That's a 2003, 200,000 miles. It's in pretty good shape. If you look there by the tire, right in front of it, there's supposed to be an end cap on the bumper. I thought it was part of the molding, but if you order it, you have to look under bumper. It's an end cap. That's the only thing that's really not quite right with the truck. Let me pause this. I'll get underneath there and show you what I'm looking at on the frame. I'm going to try to do this morning because it's going to get in the hundreds today. It's supposed to be super hot and dry, and I don't want to be out here doing this when it's 102 or whatever it's supposed to be today. All right, now it's kind of partly cloudy, so that's kind of keeping the temperature down. There's a little blue sky clear down there. So that's really helping with the temperature right now. So I'll come out here and get some work done before it gets too hot. I haven't really looked at this much as far as getting ready to do this. Now I can see, as you can see, there's the old Nerf bar that he cut off. The bolt sticking through. I guess I'll spray a little PB blaster on there, see if that'll help take it off. I'm not sure. Hopefully I can reach it easy from the other side. Supposed to be able to, according to the videos I watched. I'm putting new ones on. And what happens is you bolt the bracket up there, and then you put another bolt through here. Let's see. Yeah, I can feel the bolt. Can't really see much. Let me look at a different angle. Well, that's really rusty. I'm guessing this new Nerf bar will come with new brackets, because I think it'd be pretty hard to get that one out of there. The guy that I bought this truck from lived in, I think it was Idaho, and they get more snow and salt the roads more. There's another look at that other bolt. So first thing I'm going to try to do is get that bolt loose and then just get rid of that bracket. I'm always saving stuff. I'll probably try to take it apart and save the bracket, but I may just throw it away. One less thing to worry about. Let me scoot down just a little bit and I'll show you the other one. Well, here's the other one. There's a bolt in the center. I'm assuming there's a bolt up there. Yeah, I guess I can see it. I'm trying to look through the camera as you look through the camera, so that'll be able to get that top bolt out of there. Shouldn't be a problem. I'll get some PB blaster on these things, and then hopefully I don't have to turn on my compressor and get out the Ugga gun. I'm going to try to do it by hand. We'll see if that works. I'll get some tools out, and then I'll set this up on my tripod and see if we can get those loose. Well, so far I'm not having very much luck. You can see the rust that's coming off of that bracket. I tried to get a socket up on here, but I really can't get it on far enough to do anything. I can't get my impact wrench up there. And this one, of course, is so full of rust. Now maybe, I'm sure I've knocked a lot of it out of there, but I tried to come in from the back side here with just the electric impact. And it's not a super powerful one. It's a Hitachi 18 volt. So I may have to turn on my compressor to get these things to bust loose. Can get her up to 100 psi and maybe it'll knock them loose. I'm gonna, well, let's see. Now this bolt, where are we at here? Yeah. This bolt here comes in through a hole in the frame on the back side, and maybe I can get this to go in through the hole and see if I can get onto it. But I was hoping to take the nut off of this side, which should be easier. I got the wrench on there, but I can't get much leverage. So I'm going to see if I can put a cheater bar or hook up another wrench to this one, see if I can get a little more leverage and break that thing loose, but it's pretty rusty. So I'll keep you updated. Well, here's what I got going on. I was able to get a long socket, it's 19 millimeters, and a swivel, and an extension. And then I can get my impact gun on it, but it doesn't have enough power. Now, I got it to come loose, but the bolt is spinning inside the frame. So you can see there's a gap right up in here. So I reached my arm up in there and I put a wrench on the back side of this bolt, and it kept falling off. I finally got it in there where it's nice and tight, but my gun just doesn't have enough oomph. Oops, there, fell off. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my compressor, get out the big guns, and see if that'll have enough power to pop this baby off of here, because my cordless does not. So there's plenty of room under here to work. The other day I drove my truck up on my 4 ramps, and I had 24 inches of clearance underneath the truck, because it raises it up 8 inches, but I don't need ramps today. I have plenty of room to work. But got a piece of carpet down, keep me off the hard asphalt, a lot easier on my knees. Plus, if it's really hot out here, you just can't lay on if the sun's shining, you don't want to be laying on the hot asphalt. I got this old throw rug that works pretty good. So once my compressor gets up to about 100 psi, it'll shut off, and I'll give it another shot and see if I can get enough torque. Otherwise, I may have to just do it by hand a little bit more. I'll shoot a little more PD blaster on there and see if that helps, but I shall return. Well, I'm back. It's the next day. I tried and tried to get that bolt to come loose, and even with a little over 100 pounds of pressure in the compressor, I could not get it to break loose. There you can see it. It's loose just enough that there's some slack in there, but it just won't come off those threads. And I was thinking about it last night or this morning. I think what I might do is just get out my grinder, cutter wheel, and cut off the edge of that bolt if I can get up in there. I ended up doing that on my sway bar links because I couldn't hold them tight enough with vice grips to get the nuts off. So same situation, they were just too rusty. So I just got up in here. Let me get over here where I can see what you're seeing. And I just put the grinder wheel in here sideways and cut off part of the nut. And once I did that, of course, it just broke right loose. And I'm thinking I'm going to have to do that again. I'm going to turn on my compressor because I've got to have it for the grinder. It's air powered. I don't have an electric one. Was it last year? I was working on or the year before. I bought one of those oscillating cutting tools, but I can't find it to save my life. So maybe I took it back because it wasn't doing the job I needed it to do. But they've got blades that are flat, and I could put it right up in here on this nut with the metal cutting blade, and it would cut right through that. But I was working on catalytic converters on what was it? A Lexus, I think. Anyway, let me get the compressor going and see if I can get the grinder up in there, cut the edge of that bolt off. I was thinking about going to try to find some small shop because they could cut them off with the torch pretty fast. Anyway, let me see what I can do here. I'm about to give up and just take it someplace though, because This is a heck of a lot of work for 4 bolts. Alright, here's my cutting wheel that I used. I got the edge of the bolt cut off. Let me crawl under there. So there's what we're looking at now. Hopefully I weaken that nut enough that it'll come off of there. We're going to find out here in a second. I've got my battery impact out, an extension, swivel, and a 19mm socket. So I also put a wrench up in behind to hold it. Hopefully I can break that nut loose. Let's find out. Well, it turned a little bit, and I think the wrench on the inside fell off. So I'll have to scoot back under here and get my arm in there and try to get that wrench on a little bit better. It has a tendency with the vibration to fall off, so let me see if I can get it back on. Well, I finally got it. I had to crawl under there far enough that I could get my right arm up inside the frame and hold the wrench because it would not stay on. And then I used my left hand, reached out here and pulled the trigger, and finally it started turning without knocking the wrench off, and there it is. I've just got to get the bolt out from inside the frame. I hope the new one comes with a bolt and a nut, 'cause otherwise I guess I'll be going to the hardware store. Now I just got to do that 3 more times and I'll be ready for my new Nerf bars. What a pain in the butt this is. Ouch. So I'm going to clean this up with my grinder wheel or wire wheel. I'll get the bolt out of there. It's probably a little toasty at the moment. And then I'll proceed to do this 3 more times. Let me flip this camera. So you can see here the frame. This is, where am I at? Yeah. This is where I have to stick my hand in there. So I've got to be underneath the truck far enough I can get, actually it looks like it starts right here, but it's actually curved. It starts up there. So you got to reach your arm up in there far enough to hold the wrench on that nut or bolt, and then use the other hand. It's really a 2-man job. It would be definitely preferable. One guy could get under there and hold the wrench. The other guy could use the impact. But I got it. So I'm going to do 4 more. I'll post this video probably as a part 1. And then I'll do a part 2 of putting my new Nerf bars on when they get here. Now there's a slot on the back of this bolt in the frame, kind of like this. And it's not big enough to get a socket through there. I was going to try to get a socket in from the back side and hold it, get it rested on something, but it won't fit in that slot. So I got her off. I don't know if I can do 3 more today or not. My back will hold out, and the sun's starting to come out, and it's supposed to be like 102 today. It's probably only like 75 or 80 right now, so I'll carry on. I guess I'll post part 2 here pretty soon. Thanks for watching. If you're trying to do this, good luck. It's a project. It'd be real handy to have a lift. That would really make this a heck of a lot easier. Well, I completely forgot I have a torch. Benzomatic. Seems like it's got gas in it. I pulled the trigger. So, guess what? I'm going to crawl under there and put the heat to it. Maybe if I get that baby red hot, it'll break loose. One way to find out. Well, it took me 2 times of heating it up with the torch. You know, this is not the most powerful torch. But the second time I got it hot enough, and I got my wrench on there, and that thing broke loose. Now here's the weird thing. I had another wrench under there. See, this one's a 19. I had a 3/4 inch. And when I reversed the direction of the impact, it came loose, and I don't know where it went. I looked underneath the frame, I looked under the truck, it went flying someplace, and now I gotta try to find that. That was weird. It just disappeared. Anyway, I'm gonna try this on the other 2. That's a lot easier than grinding off half the nut. So let me see if I can get these loose. Okay, I got number 3 off. Now this one had to do a little different because the wrench fell off and it wasn't a good way to get it to stay on there. So I got my breaker bar, I used the long socket, and then I held that with one hand. I used the short socket and the swivel, and I just kept working at it. One time I ran it forward and then back, and finally it broke loose. I heated it up twice, but at least I got it off there. So now on to the last one, and I can take a break. I think my new Nerf bars will be in today. I don't know if it'll be too hot by then to come out here and put them on, but I may try it. Well, I got the last one off in one try. I heated it up just a little bit longer. This one was a little more difficult because up inside this rail, we've got brake lines and a gas line. So it wasn't much room to put my arm in there, but I got the wrench in there. And as you can see, the nut came off. And now the bracket will come off. There we go. Now I just have to push the bolt out. Maybe I'll wait till it cools a little bit because it is going to be hot. Well, that's good. I got those off. Now I can mount my new ones. I'm sure that'll be a heck of a lot easier than this was. I may go ahead and try to save these brackets if I can cut off or take the bolts out of this part, because that's a nice thick chunk of iron. It's at least a 1/4 of an inch thick, like 5/16. And it's just got a little surface rust on it, so it'll be good for something. Well, thanks for watching. I'm glad I got this all done. I'm supposed the camera's sideways now. So part 2, I'll splice these all together. And part 2 will be me putting the new Nerf bars on. They're supposed to be here today, I think, so we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe if you want. Maybe somebody with a Tundra or another truck. I'm sure they're somewhere. This might help them out. It's some work, but I didn't want to go spend $100 or $200 at a shop and have them cut them off or whatever they would do. A couple hours of my time, and they're all off of there.